Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be, in whatever part of the world you may be in. This is Dr. Don with a daily light point. I thank you all for your patience. Many of you have become accustomed to my daily light points literally every day, and I even got a couple of messages like, "Hey, where are the daily light points?" And a few things have been happening. One, just with travel and what have you, it definitely becomes challenging. Not an excuse, but couple that with the reality that I wanted to ensure that I was balancing what I was posting, the frequency of it, and not stifling some of the other very important messages and content that I wanted to put out, including recent podcasts. So please check out our Spotify, check out our YouTube. We just released a very thought-provoking and compelling podcast discussion. I'm excited for you all to tune in. I don't want to give it away. And then we have another one releasing next week, and perpetually every week we want to be more intentional about our high impact, thought provoking, typically 30 minutes or so discussions with real leaders having real talk in real time, pulling them from wherever we are and engaging in some frank dialogue. And we're going to be expanding our approach to that, even down to potentially walking up to people and saying, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this? Let's have some candid dialogue about these topics that we all navigate each and every day as leaders in our lives, personally and professionally." So bear with me as we continue to just advance how we're approaching this vision around LightPoint and the LightPoint podcast. But today's daily light point, I want to talk about this premise of normality. And I was inspired by a post that my sister provided on a social platform, sharing in her experiences. And it prompted me to think of this statement: my uniqueness, my characteristics, my beliefs, because they are unfamiliar to you, does not make them abnormal. What's unfamiliar to you does not mean I am somehow, or my behaviors are somehow abnormal. Because the context of abnormal suggests that the things that you in your social or mental or experiential understanding have normalized, or what you perceive to be typical, the things that deviate from that, especially those things that you find undesirable, somehow become classified as abnormal. My uniqueness, what makes me who I am, does not have to become my abnormality because it's uncommon to you. It's that simple. And I want to encourage you all to remember that what makes you unique and special, and which what often aligns with your gifts and your capacity and how you show up in the lives of others, may be seen by others or perceived by others as abnormal. That doesn't mean that you have to move in that same way. Doesn't mean that you have to internalize that. Don't let someone's perception of your abnormality stifle your light, stifle your presence. The greatest individuals in society who have had some of the greatest impacts on society were once told they were abnormal. Because they were abnormal, that they somehow should discontinue or stifle their pursuits. I'm here to tell you that that would be completely unfortunate, not only for yourself, but for all those who are destined to be positively impacted by what you're setting out to do. It's okay to be a disruptor. It's okay to be unique. It's okay to be different. My uniqueness does not have to mean I am somehow abnormal. I don't have to internalize that because it's quite normal for me in my pursuit of authenticity and how I show up in the lives of others. I hope this connects with at least one person who's navigating how do I continue to make a connection to others or in my social circle or in my society when I stand out so uniquely, so different from all those around me. And what does that mean? It means you lean into that. You seek to understand the power in that uniqueness and how it has the potential to positively impact others around you. With that being said, thanks for tuning in this week for another Daily Light Point. We're leaders, we'll talk, we'll time.